An adopted son accused in a plot to have his parents murdered. The reason, police say, money.
Normal, sane people don't do things like what he did.
Nicolas Shaughnessy faces life in prison after his mother dodges gunfire in her bedroom and survives. His father left dead on the kitchen floor.
If this kid doesn't get put away with all of his friends forever, then he'll have died in vain.
Tonight, new, never-released details in a case that shocked Austin. Tony Plahetsky has the story of money and murder.
My heart just broke, and my heart just feels so sorrowfully sad for his family. I just started crying, and I was crying and crying. I said, okay, in the morning, I need to go get flowers and put it on their door. So I went and I bought flowers and, did a little over the rainbow and my name, and went over there the very next morning and put it on there. Well, I can't even talk about it without wanting to cry, but I try to put that aside.
Ted Shaughnessy was a gregarious businessman.
He was just honest and friendly to everyone.
A high-end jeweler.
Lots of integrity.
A charmer.
This was the first piece I got from him.
Shelley Todd met Ted Shaughnessy when he opened Gallery Jewelers with his wife, Corey.
We were window shopping and went in and met Ted, and from then on, we were friends.
He was kind, and he always had a smile. He always had good things to say. Very positive fellow.
The couple had worked in the pawn shop business in Arizona. They moved to Austin in the early 1990s to begin a new life. Jewelry became their focus.
He educated me on all types of things I'd want to know about, different stones that I'd never heard of.
Ted Shaughnessy was proud of the store's success, but he also longed for something else in life.
He just wanted a little boy,
They went over there to get a little boy, and they came back to Austin and, had their business and their family, and he was very happy.
This was the little boy they adopted from a Russian orphanage, seen in a family photo several years later. The Shaughnessy's had brought Nicholas to the United States around his second birthday.
Nick was just a happy-go-lucky young boy.
Brian Colfack lives down the street.
He always seemed to be a very bright young man. He was always very inquisitive about things. He wanted to learn.
Nick and his father shared a love of racing. The two enjoyed Formula One events at the Circuit of the Americas. He also took karate lessons at this school in Oak Hill and went on to earn a black belt. By then, Nicolas Shaughnessy also had developed a fascination with finances and finery.
He'd be constantly trying to mention his money all the time in class.
Tyler Scott, who was in the class of 2017 with Nick, says he often flashed Rolex watches to try to impress fellow students.
I've made some good investments lately. My numbers are up. A lot of it went over my head.
His junior year, Nick met Jacqueline Edison, who moved to Austin from New Jersey to live with her father, and quickly became Nick's girlfriend. His apparent fixation with money also led to this profile of him in the school newspaper. He reveals a plan to get rich, day trading at home. 1 month after graduation, he and Jacqueline married in secret. They moved to this townhouse in College Station. Jacqueline enrolled at Texas A&M. That's when police say Nick began a scheme he hoped would make him rich. It was a crime that shocked everyone who knew Ted Shaughnessy. An intruder killed him here in his own home. Authorities say whoever did it also intended to kill Corey. She crawled to a closet and hid there until police arrived.
This morning, about 4:45 a.m., we received a 911 call from someone inside the residence. We have a male in his 50s who is deceased.
That morning, March 3rd, Nick stood outside the family home, now a crime scene, with investigators.
But it's very, very important right now to get the word out that we have a suspect who is not in custody.
Neighbors immediately thought someone targeted Ted.
we all kind of thought it must have been a burglary gone bad.
During the next few months, the family announced in a Facebook post that Nicholas would be carrying on his father's legacy at Gallery. Longtime customer Sharon Jason stopped in Gallery Jewelers to express her condolences.
I told her how sorry I was about Ted, and then she introduced me to her son Nicholas and told me he was taking over the business. He stayed seated, he was seated at the desk, did not really say much at all, but I could understand, they were still pretty grief-stricken.
But during the next 3 months, detectives built a case pointing squarely at Nick. Documents say he conspired to have his parents killed because he stood to gain up to $8 million in property and life insurance. Investigators say he asked a list of potential hitmen before finally finding this man, Johnny Leon, to pull the trigger. Detectives say someone else helped Nick with his murder plan, Jacqueline Edison, and that text messages show she was in on it too. On May 29th, Travis County Sheriff's deputies arrested Nick Shaughnessy and Jacqueline Edison.
I was totally shocked by the fact that I had just met him a week ago.
When you saw a young man that looked like he had his whole future and life ahead of him, it was just shocking to think that he would think that at 19 years of age, his future was going to be contingent upon him killing his parents for insurance money.
It has been 6 months since Ted Shaughnessy was killed, 4 since Nick's arrest. The 19-year-old faces life behind bars. Jacqueline Edison has turned on him and is now cooperating with investigators. Nick's mother is standing by him and insists her son would have never planned to have her or her husband murdered. Sharon Lynn Salata, who works at the children's store over the Rainbow, knew Nick as a child. Of everyone, there is one person she can't stop thinking about.
When I think of Mrs. Shaughnessy, I can't even imagine how her heart feels. It's unbelievable. I can't even conceive of the heartbreak she must be going through.
A family that once seemed to have it all, now shattered.
So many people have been impacted by this whole situation.
The reason? Police say one thing: greed.
He's not a Shaughnessy. He's not family.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to be a Shaughnessy and be part of the family, and he pretty much ruined that. So what do we care about him now?
Tony Plahetsky, KVUE News.